Hello, everybody. This is Julie D from NordoniaHills.news, and today I am sitting down on Zoom with Cassandra. Cassandra, why don't you tell everybody who you are and what you do?
Hi, everyone. I'm Cassandra from Cutler Real Estate. I'm a local realtor in the area and just coming to you with some real estate news and letting you know that I am also starting a segment on my Facebook page called Coffee and Real Estate with Cass. And it'll be like a monthly segment, just talk about some real estate news, some pointers, some tips. I'm also taking questions for my followers if there's anything that you want to know. And yeah, so it'll just be a fun thing. Talk about real estate and of course coffee, which is a passion of mine. So
Yes,
all rolled
I
into
didn't
it.
start drinking coffee until I was, I think, 40 or 50 or something. I don't even know. I don't know
Really?
why. I
Okay.
just always avoided it because I didn't like the taste of it, and I didn't like conforming to things that I didn't like. But I started drinking cafe mochas at
Ooh,
Arabica when we had that in town.
okay.
And then I started hanging out in the Starbucks at University of Akron because one of my kids was going there. So I like slowly ramped up to it.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I got a crash course into coffee when I had kids.
Oh
It
yeah.
became necessary to function. Those late nights of baby crying and then getting up to go to work the next day. I fell in love with coffee. So
Well, I was
that's,
a popaholic back then.
were you? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
so
I
that's
just
where I got
can't
my
do
caffeine.
pop. You
Yeah.
can't do pop. So yeah, coffee and I have a love-hate relationship. I need it to keep up. I need it to keep up with the kids. And
Well, tell us about the kids.
so I've got two kids. I've got a 5-year-old named Frankie. He's in kindergarten this year. And he is so funny. He loves dinosaurs. That's like his passion right now is dinosaurs. He just finished his first season of soccer, so that was really fun. And then I've got a 2.5-year-old Lily, and she's just a sweetheart. She loves Coco Melon, Gabby's Dollhouse. Like we're into all of that. And then she just started dance at Center Stage Dance Studio in Northfield. So they're both a lot of fun. They keep me busy, and they might be with me on showings. Full disclaimer, and you might see them on my segments every once in a while. They burst in, so everyone will
Yes,
get to meet them.
got to keep it real, that's for sure,
Yeah, yeah,
and authentic.
that's right. That's right. From our little side conversation.
Exactly. So, tell us about the real estate market right now.
Yeah, so I get a lot of questions about the real estate market. Should I buy right now? Is the market going to crash? That's like my favorite question. We don't have a crystal ball to tell you, what's going to happen from tomorrow to next month to next year. But right now, what the market is showing us is that we did see a huge appreciation. We don't think that the market is going to crash. We think that these prices are going to hold steady, but over the next couple of years, we'll see more of a normal rate of appreciation. So if you're buying a house now, you're going to be okay. Interest rates are super low. It's totally different from when the market crashed, back in 2006. Homes are more expensive, but they're actually more affordable. So, it is still a good time to buy.
Now, for sellers, what do you think? What are some tips for people that are selling their house right now?
Yeah, so that's a good question too. I get that all of the time when people come to me, I'm ready to sell. What should I do? So the first thing that I always tell everyone is that if you have any projects that you haven't finished around the house, make sure you get those done. If you have some things that need to be fixed, like light bulbs that need to be changed, garage doors that maybe need to be programmed or maintenance, get all of that done. Your furnace, get that maintenance. And then, lastly is interior. So you're going to want to clean up a little bit, make sure you declutter what you can, and a fresh coat of paint goes a long way too. It doesn't have to cost a lot, but these are just some simple things that will help you sell your home quicker.
Yeah, I've always heard that get rid of your knickknacks or put them in a box or something.
Right. Yeah, and it's really a good thing because if you have things that you're not using, it's just taking up space anyway. So get it out, donate it, do something good with it.
I don't really know if people really collect knickknacks anymore. I mean, obviously, the older generation probably still does, but I think knickknacks are a thing of the past.
I don't know. My mom used to collect German knickknacks. But recently our neighbor has given my daughter some porcelain dolls. So my neighbor's mother passed away earlier this year, and he inherited all of her porcelain dolls, and he's given her a couple. So we're starting like a porcelain doll collection, and that's something a lot of my friends have commented on when they come to see her room. You don't see that anymore. So I don't know. I like the old world stuff. I think there's some value to that.
Yeah, I'm obviously into the old world stuff myself, but I know, well, I'm not really into knickknacks. I'm more into collecting technology. So I guess that's my
Aren't we all guilty of that?
yeah. And then of course, in the basement now we have all these old computers and old I had a PDA at one time.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I had the second generation iPhone, and so it's kind of funny.
A couple of years ago, my dad sold my childhood home. And so like I had to go and clean out my old bedroom because again, he was decluttering. He was going through the process of decluttering 30 years of a home that he had lived in. And so a lot of my old high school stuff was there. And I found my old LG chocolate phone. Do you remember those?
Oh yes.
Yeah, and it was like still in great shape. And I told my husband, I want to like find a charger for this and see like what were my text conversations? What was the gossip back then?
Everybody wanted that. That was like
it was a big deal that I got that phone.
Yes.
And I found it in my desk drawer, so that was pretty cool. I'm like, I'll give it to Frankie someday. And my husband's like, he's not gonna want that.
I remember when it was so cool when you had a flip phone. And now if you have a flip phone, you kind of hide it so no one sees it.
I know, everybody has an iPhone now. I mean, it's so fun.
Well, there's some Android people out there and the Google phone people. Yeah.
There are some Android.
I can't neglect them. They'll be commenting like
true.
Not
this
everything
is true. iPhone. I don't know how to use an Android though, guys. I'm better on an iPhone.
I am too. I use PCs, but my phone's iPhone, and I have an iPad as well. And I like technology, so I guess that's what I collect.
I like it.
So let's see. So you live in this area?
I do. I live in Macedonia.
Oh,
okay. My husband is actually originally from Solon, but he grew up in Northfield. We actually, our first home was his childhood home. It was on Old 8. So we lived there for several years. And then when we were expecting our daughter, we sold that home and then we moved to Macedonia. So his family is local. They're in Northfield, Macedonia, and Solon. He went to Nordonia High School, graduated in 2006. So that's how I ended up here. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's great. So, I mean, how long have you been in Macedonia then?
I have been in Macedonia almost 6 years.
So tell me, in that short amount of time, in some people's minds, 6 years is short. What kind of changes have you seen? Isn't it amazing how in that short of time, how it's changed?
I mean, I feel like we're definitely getting more restaurants. I remember when we first moved here, so we used to live in Akron. We lived in the Valley. And when we moved here, I was like, there's no Starbucks here. There's no Starbucks. And then, we got a Starbucks. They started adding more things, the Hobby Lobby, all of that. So I think it's great. We're getting a lot of growth. I'd like to see a little more restaurants added though, maybe not like as much fast food. I think that's a common consensus. But overall, I love the shopping centers. I love living here.
Every time I have to report that there's a new chicken place coming to town, I know the comments are coming. Why can't we have a nice sit down Olive Garden?
Olive Garden. I always say that. I just want an Olive Garden, please.
And they're not just doing it. They're not just doing it to be snarky. They really do want a nice, place. So the only thing I tell people, and it doesn't matter how many times we say this, people are still going to make the comments, but those type of restaurants aren't, they're barely staffing their places now because they have a lot of staff and they're not opening any new locations.
I know.
So, but if they were, I would think that they would come here because we've been wanting.
I would hope so. I mean, if Jabbering Julie says it should happen, it should happen.
Well, maybe they're watching.
Yeah, maybe next year. Maybe if
they'll be like, they're in a planning meeting right now. Hold it, stop it. We saw this show. We've got to have our next location be Macedonia.
We'll make this Exhibit A, the segment.
Exactly.
Exhibit A.
And we'll go back to like, oh, see, we talked about it and it happened.
Do
It
you
took
think
a
they'll give us,
while, like anything takes a while.
do you think they'll give us free breadsticks if we make that happen?
You know what I love? Their pasta fagioli.
Ooh,
That's one
see,
of the soup
I'm
options.
simple. I like the fettuccine alfredo and the calamari. So
They
they
have good
can
stuff there.
bring that over here.
I don't
They do.
I don't eat their lasagna and like some of the pasta stuff because yeah, I can do that better at home. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I love certain things, and I could just eat their like soup and salad. You know,
Yes,
that's what I usually do. Oh, it's
I
been a while.
agree.
Hint, hint. I need to go. So
Yeah.
someone needs to have a gift card, make it happen. No, I get tired of handing out gift cards.
This
One
is
of these
true.
days,
Maybe
I
we
should
need to do
win a
like
gift card.
reverse. Yeah, I like it. I think they might say that it was rigged though.
You know, if there just happens to be one that shows up in my mailbox, you know, I probably won't turn it down. Just saying, you know, I just put stuff out there, Cassandra, and
Yes, I like it. Manifestation.
exactly. So, I mean, you know, it looks like you're having a lot of fun doing what you're doing now, but have you ever had to overcome some challenges to get where you are?
Yeah, so I mean, just in general, I think we've all felt it, with COVID. So originally I was not in real estate. I worked in property management, which is similar to real estate, but I managed apartment homes. And then when COVID happened, I think like a lot of folks everywhere in the world, I kind of had to reevaluate what I was doing. And I decided to get my real estate license because it had been a goal of mine. So I mean, just even going through the classes with two kids, that was a huge challenge for me, and it took me a long time to actually get my license. It took me 10 months of studying before I took the exam, but um, I think that was the most challenging time. Just, we couldn't go anywhere. The daycares were closed, so I was trying to study in between naps and bedtime and in between baths and whatever else was going on. But it
Well,
was
yeah, I
worth
can
it. It
totally
was well
relate.
worth it.
I can totally relate to that because back in the day, I was a computer programmer for Centurion Energy. I was a COBOL programmer, and then I quit when I had my youngest. My youngest. I have 4 kids, and my youngest. I'm sorry, I can't talk. Just like on Jerry and Julie, I can't talk. My oldest is 31. So
Okay.
when I had him, I quit my job to be a full-time mom. And 10 years later, 4 kids later, I wanted to do something. And my husband was still working long hours. So I don't know. It just arrived in my brain that I should start putting together websites. And so I would and I always said I studied in pockets of time, when they were taking
Yes.
naps and walk around the house with a book that I borrowed multiple times from the library and, taught myself some things and took some classes and everything. But yeah, I mean, when you're learning to do something new and your kids are young, you just make it happen. It's like multitasking and figuring
It's
things out as
true.
you go.
It's true. I think that's the one thing that I really got out of the whole situation with COVID was that I really started to see like how much I was missing, how much time I was missing with my kids when I was home. So it really just made me want to make that career change. And it was hard. It was really hard to study like that, but it was so well worth it. And just all the transactions I've had, all the clients that I've been, fortunate enough to help. It's been such a blessing, so much fun, and I'm so glad that I did it.
So, getting back to figuring out what you want to do, I always, when in these interviews, I try to ask people, what did they want to do when they were in high school? What did they think that they wanted to be when they grew up, so to speak? It almost always never matches up with what they're currently doing.
It's true. So when I was in high school, I think I wanted to be a nurse. And after having 2 kids, I would like never want to do that. I don't like having to go to the doctor or like being in a hospital when I'm giving birth. So I don't know why I thought that I would be strong enough to handle that when I was a kid.
Well, maybe you just wanted to help people and didn't
I
realize
think,
all the
yeah,
help that they do.
Yeah, and I think I also watched like a lot of Grey's Anatomy, and I thought that that's what, you know, a
Oh,
hospital was like, and it's not. So, so shout out to all of our frontline workers, but I just, you know, I'm not, I just don't think I have that endurance, that perseverance to do it.
yeah. I think sometimes people watch those shows where they fix up cars,
Yes.
and they're like, I want to
Yeah.
do that. And they don't realize
Right.
that you have to buff the car for like hours, and it's, they just show the fun part. You don't get to see
Right.
them, you know, toiling and working away and banging away for hours on something. So
It's true, yeah. So yeah, I wanted to be a nurse and now I'm a realtor. So kind of two different ends of the spectrum there, but still helping people. I help them find their
absolutely.
homes.
I mean, it is very exciting, when you get the keys to the new house and
It is.
can't wait to
Yeah,
go inside. And
my
yeah.
favorite part is when I'm representing a buyer and their offer gets accepted. I do a little dance, you know, when the football players do a touchdown and they do a touchdown dance, I do a little like offer accepted dance, and then I call them and I'm cheesing and I'm like, guess what? They accepted your offer. So that's my absolute favorite part. Like I love, you know, submitting the offer. Like, oh, are we gonna get it? Are we gonna get it? Are we gonna get it? And then once we get it, it feels like a
Yeah, those
victory.
negotiations back and forth sometimes can be very stressful.
They can, yeah, they can get a little tense, especially in today's market. It's definitely very competitive, but it's so well worth it when your client gets their home. So it's great to deliver that news.
Well, is there anything else that I didn't ask that you happen to think about?
I don't think so. I just want to thank you for having me on the show and giving me the opportunity to introduce myself to Nordonia Hills. And yeah, just reach out to me if you have any questions about real estate or if you're thinking about selling your home or buying in this area. I'd love to help you out.
Well, if they sell in the area, I hope they stay in the area.
I do too. I do too. But maybe they have somebody moving to the area.
Definitely. Yeah, this area is definitely growing. And getting back to the whole restaurant dilemma, I think a lot of reason why we're getting a lot of new fast food places is because Myers is, allegedly coming to town. And I heard for a fact that's why we're getting Panda Express, but I also
Okay.
think that's why we're getting some of these other Slim Chickens. And right now I just heard somebody gasp because I am sure that they don't watch my show and know all of the new stuff that's coming to town.
I know,
And the
right?
way
Well,
back
now they'll have to
burger.
watch. Now they'll have to watch.
That's right. When you miss a show, sometimes you miss a lot because people are like, well, I watch your show and I didn't. I'm like, well, you didn't see every show. You're going to have to go back and they're all there. So if you miss one, it's no big deal. You can just watch it again. So I have a lot of fun doing the shows, and I think it's kind of fun when I get recognized. But now because of your ads on Nordonia Hills That News, you're getting recognized in town.
I am, yeah, I am. So I have to remember to sometimes look my best because I have been recognized when I'm out exercising or at the grocery store or something, and I have the messy mom bun going on and no makeup. So if you see me like that, that's just me. So
Well, again, like we're saying, just keep it real,
yeah, yeah, yeah. You will see me with two kids screaming. I might have a Starbucks cup in my hands and I might have a messy bun. So
You
that's
know what?
normally how I
I
look.
just had a great idea. When I'm out in public, I should have like this big wig, like maybe an afro or something. And when
Yes.
they see me in person, they'll be like, wait, you look a lot different.
Yeah, definitely. If you see me out in public, you should tell me I look the same. You should be like, hey, you look exactly the same. I'll be like, oh yeah, she didn't have her glasses on this time. That's what happened.
Yeah, I can see me shopping at Walmart without my glasses. I like run into everything. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like how I look with glasses. I had contacts long time ago and they didn't work out really well, but I don't know. I can't live without them now anyways, but I don't think I would get the LASIK surgery.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not a calm enough person for that. I know that they like give you sedatives or whatever, but there's not enough sedatives in the world for me. So
Well, anyways, I think we should wrap this up. And, if
okay.
you ever want to come back, just give me a holler. If you ever have an update, we'd love to hear from you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Julie.
No problem, Cassandra. You have a great day.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
Bye-bye.